What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so I'm doing my Iraq video a little bit later than normal. I was expecting some interesting news, but it has not come out yet. I was reading some articles discussing about the global currency reset and the need to be on a level playing field. And so there is talks. Again, these are only talks, it's just rumors. There's nothing out there that proves it, but this is what they are discussing amongst each other, is that currencies need to find a way around the world to get to a one-for-one exchange rate, which is very, very interesting because they were discussing the different ways to do that. The problem is not every country is the same. So they're trying to figure out a way to balance it. And so I'm keeping an eye on that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I do find it very interesting, and I do remember Trump saying that everybody needs to be on a level playing field. So if anything comes of that, I definitely will share it with you. But there was some news I heard about that should have came out about Iraq, and it has not yet. So let's wait on that, you guys. When it comes out, I will definitely share it with you. Nothing too crazy, but just a little bit of talk about the exchange rate, and I was hoping that it came out. It's not that I have any inside crap to share with you guys. I'm just saying there's supposed to be talk about it today, and I wanted to hopefully read about it, but we'll see. Okay, so anyways, in case you haven't noticed, the prices on gold and silver have dropped. It's manipulated. Now's the time to buy on the dip. If you're considering buying precious metals, please give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. If you already got it, you can't get more. All right, so some of you guys are hitting me up again right now when it comes to, let me get this out of the way for you so I can show you. You guys are saying, hey, Pimpy, where can we buy dinar? Still, I told you guys, I used to have a connection, not a connection, but I used to buy mine from Exchange of America. It wasn't a connection. That's just where I bought mine, but they're sold out. So a lot of you are talking about the different prices when it comes to foreign currencies. Of course, there are different prices. Different locations charge you different prices. You know what I mean? One location might charge you X amount of dollars per dinar, and another location might charge you X amount. So, you know, again, I'm just pointing out where it's available. It's up to you whether or not you want to purchase it, okay? But the UK dinar, a lot of people have been picking up their orders from there. So there you go. The link is in the description. So, but they don't just have the Iraqi dinar. They have the Zim dollar. They have the Vietnam dong, as well as the rupiah. They did. I don't see it on there right now. But nonetheless, you know what I mean? So for those you who are interested in it, the link is in the description, okay? So let's get over here to Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we talk about investment opportunities, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No politics, please. Bring that over to here, which is the hidden things in front of your eyes. You guys have been doing a great job about that, by the way. Over here, we can talk about QAnon, NESARA, GESARA, politics, current events, 9/11, false flag events, the whole 9 yards. Just be respectful of one another. If you don't have Facebook, I do got Twitter. Come on over here. The link is in the description and join us over here. So let's get into the news. So the president of the Republic of Iraq, Saleh, he gave a speech at the UN. And basically what he's saying is, look, he's saying to the international community, we are not the same country that we were prior to 2003. What he wants to do is a new contract with the rest of the world to prove to them that they are better and they are not the same country as it used to be. So it's very interesting. So what he said is Iraq has witnessed a popular movement stemming from the desire to bring about change in the country that suits the aspiration of all Iraqis. So the populist movement isn't just in Iraq. For those you don't know what I'm talking about, Trump is a populist or a nationalist. More and more countries are looking for leaders to say, hey, let's work on our country first before we can help other countries. And the globalists or the deep state hate this. They want to just move everybody like cattle into this one world government. So you're seeing more and more countries rebel against this movement, and it includes Iraq. Iraqis are looking forward to a new political contract that addresses the structural deficit inherited in the system of the government after 2003 and guarantees them good governance, as they should expect it. No more outside influence, and that includes those Iranian-backed puppets. The government has great responsibilities and represents it in its main aspect, which is the basis for carrying out structural, political, economic, administrative reform, combating corruption and spoilers, and working on holiday early elections. Next year, arms are confined to the hands of the state. We already know they've been doing this, man. They've been setting up the structure for the early election. We know they're disarming the gangs by going city to city and going door to door. We know they're definitely working on corruption. Academia's crack-a-lacking the whip on people. And these are people that thought they were untouchable, which are former government personnel. And he's done a great job, and he's still continuing to do so. He's doing this also at the same time, working out an agreement with Erbil. All right, so we'll see what happens. Again, I can't. I told you I got a friend of mine who's from Kuwait, and when him and I are talking, his friend from Yemen, he says, "You don't get it, Pimpy. We've heard all this before. We've seen all this before. But what we do is we wait and we watch what the politicians do. So every chance when I go down there, I talk to them, and I say, hey, what do you think so far?" They just smile. They go, "You keep bugging." And he goes, "I know. It's all good news. It looks good so far." And I was like, "Good. It looks like it could be a good guy." He's like, "Yeah, but again, it's time will tell." But they seem to think he's doing all the right things. So good, but maybe I'm jumping the gun, but they're like, "Look, this is what normally happens," and then all of a sudden something bad happens. And I said, "I get it." So it should tell you why the people in Iraq, why they protest, why they go, "Hey, enough. We go through this all the time." We go through the same thing here in the United States. So again, the president is saying to the United Nations, "Look, we're resetting everything, and we hope you join us." This is interesting. Sauder. To the popular mobilization forces, you must act wisely and put an end to the bombing and assassination of your affiliates. Very, very interesting. So the leader of the Sauder movement, Sauder himself, on Wednesday sent a message to the popular mobilization authority while stressing the need to act wisely and end the bombing and assassination of those affiliated with the popular mobilization forces. Sauder said in a tweet, "As for yet, know that what some factions belonging to the great address are doing is weakening Iraq, its people, and its country. Weakening them means strengthening the external forces, on top of which is the great evil, of course, America. So try to act with wisdom and sophistication for the love of Iraq and its people. You're responsible before God and before its people." What he's saying is, look, there's a lot of crap going on around here, and the more you do this and the more you attack Americans, the more of a chance they're going to stay behind, because it goes on to talk about that. And what is happening from the bombing and assassinations of some of your affiliates, even if you're not satisfied with it, however, this is not enough. Rather, you must seek wisely and deliberately to end making Iraq an arena for the struggle of others and to strive together for the independent sovereignty, safety, and security of Iraq. Otherwise, it will be lost, Iraq, in our hands. So he's saying, look, you guys keep bombing these convoys and you kill an American, we're not going to be able to get rid of them. He goes on to say again, once again, we need them to leave. Our country needs to be ran by our people. So he's wising up to that. Parliament finance, the proportion of the region in the 2020 budget is set at 12.67. Okay, so again, the 2020 budget needs to get passed. It's already passed the cabinet. It needs to get through Parliament so they can get it knocked out. It's to be integrated into the 2021. Basically, what they're focusing on is the salaries of the people, those who are retiring, those who are being rehired, those who have been promoted, those who get a raise, along with a couple other things. So in here it says, Marza, who is the deputy of the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, said in a statement followed by the news, the draft law for the year 2020, according to the information received, the regional share was set at 12.67%, and the Peshmerga's share was also determined at 76 billion dinars per month, which is annually amounts to 912 billion dinars. They really need to change this rate, man. It is way too low. Anyways, it goes on to talk about in details what needs to be ironed out. We know a lot of these things in here. They want to have this done within 30 days. Adding that within 90, a committee is formed from a Federal Financial Supervision Bureau and a region to review those debts to be found out, the reasons that led to the regional governments to borrowing, how it distributes the loans. So they're going to start auditing is what they're going to do over in Kurdistan, just like Baghdad's doing. All right. Anyways, it goes on to talk about the same things we already know. How the oil is supposed to be distributed, the dues, the revenues, who's going to be responsible for what areas of the border, the whole 9 yards. That's all in here. It needs to be implemented in 2020 so it can be moved into the 2021, 22, and 23 budgets. A warning about the collapse of the Iraq economy, the government resorts to the treasury bonds to secure salaries. So the thing about treasury bonds is you can see over here our bond market. It used to be a real safe investment, but right now we're seeing a huge bond bubble. So this is interesting that they would make this move. Basically what they're saying is, look, you're going to collapse the economy. In order for us to do what we need to do, we need 6 trillion dinars per month to secure the salaries of employees and retirees in the Iraq state. But they're pointing out that the oil and non-oil revenues only amount to 3 trillion dinar and are not sufficient to secure the salaries. You're going to cause the economy to collapse. The government has become unable to secure the salaries of employees in the coming months, so it has resorted to preparing a 4-month budget covered by new borrowing laws. We know that's to fix them all the way to the end of the year. There's a government proposal that includes resorting to central bank treasury bonds to secure salaries for the coming period, noting that this will cause the collapse of the Iraqi economy by 2021. Again, you guys, we know what they need to do. They have to do some type of improvement. They have to update it. I don't know how they're going to do this, but, again, they need to start rebuilding their economies. They need to put in there a lot of security. It's just crazy. Too much of their budget relies on oil revenues, and that's hurting them right now with the Rona. Salih reveals the files of the Al-Qasimi raised at the meeting of the presidencies and political blocs. So the head of the Turkmen Front, Salih, revealed today, Wednesday, the 4 files Al-Qasimi discussed during his meeting with the 3 presidencies and leaders of the political blocs, the budget files and their details, the election law as required by the Iraqi streets, its procedures and importance controlling outlaws who bombed diplomatic missions and their effects, as well as the anti-corrupt files. In other words, there's going to be people in there trying to do what they can to disrupt everything and stop Al-Qasimi from achieving what he needs to do. So they're addressing what needs to be done so they can reach their goals. All right, you guys, that's what's going on. There's not a lot. I really was hoping for something that I'm anticipating being announced. And no, it's just talk about the rate, not the rate change itself. I was hoping that I could have seen it today in the news, but I kept waiting and did not see it at all. All right, so that's it for now, you guys. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Catch you later.